the third chapter. We already had a discussion over the convergent techniques from one numbering system to another. We have discussed essentially the three cases. First case was that we were given a number in binary, in octal, or in a hexadecimal form, or in any other numbering system having a base as r, and you had to convert it into a numbering system having a base as 10. So that method we already had discussed. And the second case was the vice versa case. Vice versa case basically was whenever the number was given in decimal form and you had to convert it to a number having a base as r. Afterwards, we had a discussion over the third case. Third case is a shortcut method to convert a number directly from binary to octal and binary to hexa and vice versa. For converting these kind of the numbers, we had made use of the two tables essentially: binary coded octal table as well as the binary coded hexadecimal table. From the given tables, from binary coded octal table and hexadecimal table, you directly have to substitute uh, mm, the values of the corresponding combinations in order to convert directly from binary to octal and binary to hexa and vice versa. So these were the two tables with the help of which we have solved such kind of the questions. Binary coded octal table. There will be total 8 number of combinations because there are total 8 symbols supported by the octal numbering system. Okay, and it's a 3-bit series. Why it is a 3-bit series? Because with the help of the 3 bits, how many number of combinations may be represented? 2 raised to power n. 2 raised to power n represents the number of the digits. So 2 raised to power 3 means 8 number of combinations may be there. In case of your binary coded octal number series, due to the reason as there are total number of symbols 8 in the octal numbering system. Similarly, binary coded hexadecimal numbering series. Here, as there are the total 16 number of symbols, we had a discussion over it in the previous class, and that's why in order to represent the 16 combinations, 4 bits have been used in order to represent its binary coded value. With the help of the 4 bits, how many total number of combinations may be there? It may be 2 raised to the power 14. That means 16 number of combinations in order to represent all the symbols of the hexadecimal series. So these are the binary coded form corresponding to the given hexadecimal symbols. So whenever you have to directly convert a number from hexa to binary and vice versa, so you have to directly substitute these combinations, these values. Like here, one example, we already had a discussion over the examples. Here also one solved example is given. Let me go to that example. Like this kind of the example. Like in case you are given a binary number and you have to convert it directly to octal as well as the hexa. So you have to start from the extreme right hand side in order to convert it to the octal form by adopting a shortcut method by going through that binary coded table, binary coded octal table and binary coded hexa table. You have to go on making the groups of 3 in case you have to convert it to the octal form, and you have to go on making the groups of 4 in case you have to convert it to the hexadecimal form. So in case of octal, first 3 binary numbers are joined. Afterwards, again 3 binary numbers are joined in such a manner, and in the end, if some of the digits are lacking in order to make a group of 3 or in order to make a group of 4, accordingly those many number of zeros are incorporated in order to make a group of 3 or in order to make a group of 4, and ultimately directly from the table those symbols are substituted. So downside, this will be the value in your finally hexadecimal form AF67, and on the top side this binary number corresponding to this given binary number, this will be your octal value 127547, because you have started from the extreme right hand side and you have substituted direct values from the table. So 011 correspond to the value 3 and 100 correspond to the value 4. Similarly, 101 correspond to the value 5 and so on. So based on these concepts, I hope you have solved the back exercise questions. We'll discuss those questions. And other than that, we had a discussion over one more series that is called as your binary coded decimal table. binary coded decimal numbers. Binary coded decimal numbers. Sometimes you may be asked the difference in between binary code and BCD form. Binary code is basically the case one. Whenever you are given a number in a decimal form and you need to convert it into the binary form by successively dividing the number by base 2. So whatever the resultant value you will be getting, that will be called as the binary coded value. And if you have been asked to convert a number into the binary form using the BCD series, in that case, what you have to do, you have to apply, you have to place the corresponding combinations of these decimal symbols from this table in order to get the resultant value in BCD form. So the from the previous table, binary coded hexadecimal table, if we extract only the first 10 values, so from 0 to 9, so these 10 values basically will work as the BCD series, BCD table, that will form the BCD table. Like this will be called from 0 to 9, this will be called as a BCD table. So again, the 4 bits are being used in order to represent those number of combinations. Though with the help of the 4 bits, total number of 16 combinations may be found, but as only 10 combinations are being needed in case of your binary coded decimal number series, that's why the remaining, but only the 10 are being used and we are not concerned with the remaining combinations. Those will remain unused. So only from 0 to 9 combinations are being used in order to convert a number from decimal to BCD form. Fine. And say we take one example, say we have taken 248 number. These are like in front of us, this 248 is given and you have been asked to convert it into the binary code, and also you have been asked to convert it into the BCD form. So how will you be converting in binary code? This is a given decimal number 248. In order to convert it into the binary code, you will have to successively divide this number by 2, and whatever the remainders will be generated, you will have to reversely concatenate all those remainders in order to get the final value in the binary code form. But in case of your BCD form, what ultimately you will have to do, you will have to go through this table given above side from 0 to 9. You will have to locate the corresponding its corresponding combinations, and you will have to place its corresponding combinations of the given digits. Like what is the combination for the 8? It is 1000. So directly we'll have to substitute. Similarly for 4, you will have to go to the table. You will have to locate the corresponding combination of against 4. It is 0100. You will have to place this value. Similarly, in order to locate the combination of 2, you will have to go through the series and you will have to find out its combination and you will have to place it in front of it. That will be, so ultimately what will be the binary BCD value of 248? It will be 0010, 0100 and 1000. So this is the difference. Now based on these topics, I hope you have solved back exercise question. We'll come to those questions as well. But prior to that, I would like to discuss the next section, that is your complement. So complements are used in digital computers for simplifying the subtraction operation and for logical manipulation. And there are two types of complements essentially for a numbering system having a base as R. One is your R's complement, another is your R minus 1's complement. So what actually has to be done? Whenever we talk about the addition is directly, in order to perform the addition, there are the direct circuits, digital circuits available in the system to facilitate the addition of two numbers or two or more numbers. Like you have studied half adders, you have studied full adder, and ultimately in the 4th chapter you will be studying binary adder. Half adder was there, that was again the example of the combinational circuit or digital circuit that was facilitating the addition of 2 bits only. Full adder was facilitating you the addition of 3 bits. But wherever when we'll study the concept of binary adder in 4th chapter, so the binary adder will facilitate you to add two binary numbers of any and digits. It may be 4 digits, it may be 8 digits, and so on, right? So directly we do have the digital circuits available in our system to facilitate the addition of two binary numbers, or the addition of any other numbering, the numbers available in any other numbering system. But for the negative number, in order to deal with the subtraction, we don't have the directly subtractor, though that subtraction is made feasible only through the addition, and also made feasible by taking the complement of the negative number and eventually adding that complemented value in another number. That ultimately will give you the result of the subtraction of two numbers. So this is the way only how the subtraction has been made feasible in the systems. Again, I am repeating that how the subtraction has been made feasible. It has been made feasible through the complements. Through the complements means always the complement is to be taken of the negative number, and the complemented value of the negative number eventually is being added to another given number in order to find out the subtraction of two numbers. So this is the way how the subtraction is performed, and this is the reason only that the complements are required. So essentially there are two types of complements. One is your r's complement, another is your r minus 1's complement. So whenever we talk about the decimal numbering system, in that case, what kind of the two complement? Let me open the PPT, and then from PPT only I would go onwards. So this is your next topic from third chapter, complements. I already have explained you the significance of the complements. Conventional addition, conventionally whichever the addition is being done using the carry, is easily implemented in digital computers. I told you earlier that through the that addition has been performed with the help of the adders. However, the subtraction by borrowing is difficult and inefficient for digital computers, and much more efficient to implement subtraction using addition of the complements of the numbers. So this is an efficient manner in order to make use of complements to perform the subtraction operation. So I told you that there are for any numbering system having a base as r, there are two types of the complements. One is called as your r's complement, another is called as your r minus 1's complement. So if you talk about the decimal numbering system, so there can be only two complements. One is your r's complements means tens complement, another will be nines complement. So whenever we talk about the octal numbering system having a base as 8, what kind of the complements will be there? One will be 8's complement, another will be 7's complement. Similarly, if we talk about the hexadecimal series, so in that case having a base as 16, in that case again essentially there will be two types of the complements. One will be 18's complement and another will be 17's complement. Similarly, if we do talk about the binary numbering system, again two types of the complements will be there. One is a 2's complement, another is your 1's complement. So first of all is your decimal numbering system. So in that case, but in general, this is the formula to find out the complement of a number. This is the formula to find out r minus 1's complement of a given number n, and it is defined as by this formula: r raised to power small n minus 1 minus n, where capital N represents the given number, small n represents number of digits in the given number n, and the r represents the base or the radix of that numbering system. For example, if we do talk about the tens complement of a given number, we take one example. I hope one example will be given here, and we go by this formula. This is the formula we are talking about. This formula r raised to power n minus 1 minus n. So if we need to have the tens complement, if first of all we talk about taking the tens complement, so we will substitute the value of r as 10. So it will be 10 raised to power n minus 1 minus n, and 10 raised to power n minus 1 will become a 99999, those number of times as there is the number of digits in n, and minus n. So you can take one example and you can go by this formula. Ultimately, you will get this value. Find the nines complement. This is the formula to find out 9's complement, r minus 1's complement. See, what we are doing, given a number 546700, you have to find out its 9's complement. You have to go by the formula. What formula says that you have to place all these values 10 raised by n minus 1 minus n. After placing this value, you will be getting 10 raised by n means how many digits are there. Small n represents the number of digits in the given number. Given number is this 546700. So value of small n will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So value of small n will be 6. So 10 raised to power 6 minus 1 will become as 6 times 9. If manually you will do that, so we'll get 6 times 9 minus capital N. And capital N is your given number. What is your given number? This is your given number 546700. So ultimately, after performing this operation, you will be getting the 9's complement as 453,299. So this is the value you will get of 9's complement of the given number by making use of the formula r h by n minus n. So what you can do basically, once you view the number directly, even without applying the formula, directly you can just within an instance you can get the value of the 9's complement. So what that is the shortcut, means within a moment only you are going to get. So how? You simply count the number of digits in a given number. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those many number of 9's, those many number of the highest symbol of that numbering system you need to place, and the given number needs to be subtracted from that those number of 9's, ultimately to get the value of 9's complement. So this will become ultimately the shortcut method. Earlier we started with r h by n minus n, and eventually we are saying that directly once you have been asked to find out, rather whenever you have been asked to find out 9's complement or 10's complement, then thoroughly you have to give this formula in the exam. But whenever you have been asked to perform the subtraction of two numbers, in order to perform the subtraction of two numbers for a negative number, you will have to have the complemented value, and for taking the complemented value, you need not to apply this formula every time. Rather, directly by using this shortcut method, you directly need to find out the 9's complement without wasting any time. So what is the direct method now? What has become the direct method? That you have to find out the 9's complement. Once you view the given number, you have to count number of digits. 6 digits are there. So those many number of 9's you have to place, and the number needs to be subtracted from that value consisting of those many number of 9's. Ultimately, we'll be getting the 9's complement. We take one more example. In case we have to find out the 9's complement of 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. How directly you have to find out? First of all, you have to count number of digits. 5 number of digits are there. So you have to have those many number of 9's. You have to subtract this number from those many number of 9's in order to get the value of, directly you have to, in order to get the value of 9's complement. So those many number of 9's means 5 number of 9's minus the given value. Ultimately, will get the value of the 9's complement. It will be 87610. And in order to take the r's complement. R's complement is basically 10's complement. What is the formula to find out the 10's complement? Simply you need to add 1 in the given value. What is the formula for 9's complement? R minus 1's complement. R is for n minus n 1 minus n. If you do add, in order to find out the r's complement, you do add 1. So ultimately you will be getting the r's complement. R's complement means, in case of decimal numbering system, 10's complement. If you do add 1 in this given formula, ultimately you will get the value as r is for n minus n. So this is the formula to find out the r's complement, means 10's complement. And previous was the formula to find out your r minus 1's complement. That means 9's complement. Now this is r's complement. So once you get the value of, in a similar manner, once you get the value of 9's complement, eventually you need to add 1 only in the given value, in the resultant value of 9's complement. You will be getting your r's complement or 10's complement. right? And next is, yes, Deepa, you have joined so late for the class. Next time it is not acceptable. You have to be on time. So next. So these were the generally see one more example has been taken in order to illustrate the concept of tens complement, how it is to be taken. See, there are the two ways. Either you do find out your nines complement, you do add one, and then that will give you the value of tens complement, or otherwise directly you can substitute the value in the formula in order to get the value of the tens complement. So in this slide, they directly have substituted the value of base as well as the number in the given formula in order to get the value of tens complement. But else the meaning is same. Ultimately, we are doing the same thing. Either we go by nines complement first and then we do add, or we directly substitute the values in the tens complement. Right? Now we come to specifically the ones complement and twos complement, because the system generally always deals with in binary values, deal with the binary values internally whenever all the manipulations has been done. So it is very essential to learn to understand the ones complement and twos complement at the binary level. And in the back exercise also, many questions are based on this concept of ones complement and twos complement. So now our focus will be on ones complement and twos complement. What is the ones complement? Though from that formula also we can get the value of ones complement and twos complement, but here we are directly talking about the shortcut methods in order to find out your ones complement and twos complement. Always you need to apply the shortcut methods in order to find out ones complement and twos complement. So first of all is your ones complement. How to find out the ones complement? Given a binary number, in order to find out the ones complement, you directly need to replace 1 by 0 and 0 by 1 in the entire number. That will give you the value of the ones complement. Like here is a given number 10111001, and downside is your ones complement. How this ones complement has been obtained? Simply go on replacing every digit by its inverted values. It will give you the value of the ones complement. Like this 1 will be replaced by 0, 0 will be replaced by 1, 0 again will be replaced by 1, 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 will be replaced by 0, 0 will be replaced by 1, similarly 1 will be replaced by 0, and ultimately this will be the value of your ones complement. Now yes, the another example also is given in front of you, that 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 by 0, 0 by 1, 0 by 1, 0 by 1, and this way you are going to obtain the value of the ones complement of a given binary number. Now we talk about the twos complement. There are the two methods to obtain the twos complement. The very first method is once you have to have the ones complement in a similar manner as earlier we have talked, and simply you need to add value 1 in the ones complement in order to obtain the value of the twos complement. This is called as your comparatively long cut method, but ultimately we'll talk about the shortcut method as well. Again, I'm repeating that. What is the method to find out the twos complement? First, you need to find out ones complement, and you need to simply add 1 in the ones complement in order to obtain your twos complement. So previously, the ones complement of this number was obtained as this value, and ultimately in the ones complement, simply 1 was added in order to obtain the value of a twos complement. So this was the way to obtain your twos complement. So and the second way was second way is, acha, let me manually show you how this addition has been performed, because generally you are used to of doing the addition in the simple in the conventionally you do the addition in a similar manner. We do the addition also, but still sometimes you feel some kind of the difficulty. So let me make use of the whiteboard in order to show this addition. So this is your whiteboard. Though it is a very simple concept, still I would like to illustrate it through the whiteboard. It will be better. So what number is given in front of us? That was the number as 1 0. This is the ones complement, 0 1 0 0 1 1. So we are say I take one more example simply in order to find out 2's complement. What has to be done in the 2's complement? Simply we have a number. I have taken a number as 1 1 0 0, again 1 1 say, and 0 0. So what you have to do with this? You have to find out its 2's complement. So we talk about the very first method. First method is saying that first of all you have to have its 1's complement by inverting all its bits. So this 0 will be replaced by 1 in order to find out 1's complement. 0 will be replaced by 1's. Similarly, 1 will be replaced by 0. 1 will be replaced by 0. 0 will be replaced by 1. 0 will be replaced by 1. 1 will be replaced by 0, and 1 will be replaced by 0. This is the 1's complement. Now in order to find out your 2's complement, you simply need to add value 1 in the 1's complement. So you need to add simple value 1. So 1 will be added. So this 1 and 1, basically 2 in decimal. 2 in decimal, and how the number will be written in binary? 2 correspond to 1 0. This is 2. So 0 will be written here, and this 1 will work as a carry. It will be placed on the top of the next bits, next bit, next digit. Again, if let me illustrate you the simple addition, how we do the simple addition. See, we have a number as 27 and 89. So simply in day to day, conventionally, how do we do the addition? 9 and 7 is 16. 16, you write down 16, say this way. So 6 has to be written here, this side, and 1 comes out to the top of the next digits, this way. Okay, and ultimately again you do the addition, 8 and 2, 10, and 1, 11. So this way conventionally you do the addition. In a similar manner we are doing here only. Like 1 and 1, 2, 2 is in binary is written as 1 0, and this 0 will be placed here, and 1 will go on the top of the next digit. Again we do the addition, 1 and 1 again 2, this is the 2, this 0 will be written here, and 1 will go on the top of the next digit. And 1 and 0 simply will be 1, this will be 0, this will be 1, and this will be 1, this is 0, this is 0. So ultimately this is the value of the 2's complement. So by first method. Now we talk about the second method. Second method is the direct shortcut method. What the shortcut method says. Again we will find out the 2's complement of the same number, same given number. This is the given number, and by applying the shortcut method. And let me erase this part and let me explain the same concept again using your shortcut method. And what the shortcut method says that, let me erase first. Yes. So what is the given number? This is the given number. It says that the second shortcut method says that we have to begin from the extreme right hand side. Yes, this is the right hand side. And you have to go on scanning the number till you get the very first value of the 1. Till this point you have got the 1. Otherwise previous 2 zeros were there. So as and when you get the value of 1, till that point you have to copy the entire number as such in the resultant number. So in the resultant number we are writing down this thing. 1, this is 1, 0, and 0. Till this point we have copied the number as such, till which point? Till the time we get the value of 1. Afterwards, what you have to do in the remaining value of the number, you have to go on inverting every digit. You have to find out the 1's complement of every digit. So that means what you have to do ultimately, you have to replace 1 by 0. 0 by 1 in all the numbers. You have to go on doing like that. And 0 by 1, 1 by 0, and 1 by 0. Ultimately, we will be getting the resultant value of the 2's complement as such. Now you can match these two values. Exactly, these two values are same. The first value we found using the first method, and the second value we found the using the shortcut method. In first method, what we had done, we had simply taken the ones complement of the given number. We had added value 1 in ones complement in order to get the value of the two's complement. But in direct method, what we had done to find out the two's complement, we simply started scanning the number from extreme right hand side until the point the very first value of the one was met. Till that point, we had copied the values as such, and afterwards we had went on inverting every digit, means 1 by 0, 0 by 1, wherever these digits were met. We take one more example in order to illustrate the concept of two's complement. Say I take one more example. This is a number. Now we have to have its two's complement using the direct method. In direct method ke liye, what I have told you that we have to begin from the extreme right hand side, yes, and as and when the very first one is met, we have to copy the number till that point. So at the first location only we got the value of the 1, so we have to copy this one as such, and afterwards whatever are the digits, we have to go on inverting those digits. So that means 1 will be replaced by 0 afterwards, and 0 will be replaced by 1, 1 will be replaced by 0, 0 will be replaced by 1, 0 will be replaced by 1, 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 will be replaced by 0, and this way we have to obtain the value of the 2's complement. So this is the 2's complement. Again, I take one more example. Say 1 1 0 0 1 0. We have to have its 2's complement. Again, by using the direct method, we have to begin from the extreme right hand side. Till the time we have to go on scanning the number till the time we get the value of very first one. So we got at the second position the value of the first one. So till this point we have to copy the number as such, 1 0. Afterwards we have to go on inverting 0 by 1, 0 by 1, 1 by 0, 1 by 0, and so on. So this value will work as the final value of your 2's complement. So this way you have to find out the 2's complement. So generally, in order to perform your subtraction operation, you are required to take the 2's complement. How we do the subtraction of two numbers? Generally, we will talk about the subtraction of subtraction in decimal form, how system does, and we'll talk about the subtraction of binary number. So in that case, what we have to do, we'll have to have the 2's complement of a negative number, and then we'll have to add the 2's complemented value of a number to the other given value in order to find out the subtraction of two numbers. We'll go by that way only. So we were discussing about the ways to find out the 2's complement. First method we already had discussed. We had taken 1's complement, we had added the value 1 in 1's complement in order to find out the 2's complement. Similarly, we talked about the method 2, how we found the value of the 2's complement. You can view in the red portion, red digits, that we started scanning the number from the extreme right hand side. As and when the very first one was met, till that point we had copied the number as such, and afterwards we had inverted all digits, 1 by 0, 0 by 1, 1 by 0, 1 by 0, in order to get the final value of the 2's complement. So that was the way that we obtained the value of the 2's complement. Again, two more examples are being taken in order to illustrate the same concept, that one by using method 1, 2's complement has been taken. Again, by method 2, again 2's complement has been taken by the shortcut, by adopting the shortcut method. I have explained you the same concept by taking multiple examples. Yes. Now we do talk about first of all, I would like to go through the corresponding pages of your e-copy of the book. So complement, we have started with the section 3.2. We already had a discussion over the complement. We have r minus 1's complement. We have r's complement. If you are going to talk about the decimal numbering system, then we'll talk about 10's complement and 9's complement. If you are going to talk about the binary numbering system, we'll talk about 1's complement and 2's complement. And this shortcut method also we had discussed key. In order to, in place of applying this formula directly, we can find out the 9's complement. Like this is a given number, we simply need to count number of digits, and the number needs to be subtracted from the concatenated series of those number of 9's. So in order to directly get the value of the 9's complement, and once you get the value of the 9's complement, you need to simply do add 1 in 9's complement in order to get the value of 10's complement. Then we had a discussion over how to find out 1's complement, 2's complement using the direct shortcut methods. Acha, now if we talk about, yesterday I placed the final guidelines. In that guidelines, you do have the practical list as well. So in practical list, again, you do have one program that you have to write down a Python program to find out 1's complement and 2's complement. Now start implementing the Python program over the concept that we have done just now, that how to find out 1's complement, and you will have to store a binary number either in a list or in any using any other mechanism, and you will go on inverting the digits in order to find out 1's complement. And in order to find out 2's complement, again you can adopt any of the method. Either you first of all find out 1's complement, implement the 1's complement formula first, and in using Python program, and simply you have to go on inverting in order to find out 1's complement, and then you need to simply do add 1 in order to find out 2's complement. Or it's up to you that which of the method you are going to adopt in order to find out to implement your Python program, but you have to implement it and start implementing. And yes, now, so ultimately we start talking about your subtraction as well. Subtraction of unsigned numbers. But prior to that, fixed point representation, I would like to discuss about this fixed point representation. Generally, we have three types of the representation: signed, magnitude representation. Signed, whenever we talk about the sign of a signed number. Signed numbers means whenever the sign itself is stored as the part, sign bit is itself is stored as a part of your number, along with the number. Whenever sign bit is also being stored, that will be called, those numbers will be called as a signed numbers. And unsigned number generally are those kind of the numbers where explicitly only the magnitude is being stored, and explicitly the sign bit is not being stored. So those numbers generally we call as the unsigned numbers, but the system deals with your signed numbers only. So how to represent a sign in case of your binary number? Whenever we do have a number, whenever we have a number, we have the three mechanism. We have the three ways to represent the sign. One is called as a signed magnitude representation. Another is called as a signed 1's complement representation. Another is called as a signed 2's complement representation. One is called as a signed magnitude representation. Say we do have a number as 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0. This is a number, and we are saying that we have to represent it using the sign bit. So the very first bit is being used as a sign bit in the binary number. Whenever we are talking about the binary numbers, so very first bit is being used as a sign bit, and whenever its value is 1, it represents the negative number. When the sign bit is 0, it represents a positive number. One more thing I would like to say, that complement is always to be taken of a negative number. Whenever we talk about taking the complement of a positive number, then the value remains as such. It does not have an impact on the positive numbers. Only the complement has the impact on the negative number. Okay. And while taking the complement of a negative sign negative numbers, and whenever its sign bit is there, never the complement of the sign bit is never taken. Sign bit will remain as such, because by default we are talking of taking the complement only of the negative number. Whenever the sign bit always will be 1, but for taking of its complement, 2's complement or 1's complement, sign bit, it will not have any impact on the sign bit. So the given number is 0001110, and it is a negative number having a sign bit as 1. If it would have been a positive number, it would have been having the sign bit as 0. But this is a negative number. Now, how to represent the negative numbers? Specifically, these are the negative numbers. So these negative numbers may be represented in 3 forms: either signed magnitude representation, or in 1's complement representation, or in 2's complement representation. So given a number in front of us having a sign bit as 1 means number is negative. Then in order to represent it in the 1's complement representation, we need to take out its 1's complement. So by taking the 1's complement, 0 will be replaced by 1, 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 again will be replaced by 0, this 1 will be replaced by 0, 0 will be replaced by 0, 0 will be replaced by 0, 0 will be replaced by 1, but the 1 sign bit will remain as such. You have to do remember this thing, that sign bit during the sign bit as 1, specifically in case of your negative number, the in case of taking the 1's complement and 2's complement, the sign bit will remain as such, its complement will not be taken. Now in order to take the 2's complement, again, after applying the direct shortcut method, I am applying the shortcut method from the over the given number is this in front of us, the very first number. You start scanning the number from the extreme right hand side. So this, till the time the very first value of 1 is met, it is 10. 10 will be copied as such in the resultant number. Afterwards, each and every digit will be inverted, excluding the sign bit. So this 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 will be replaced by 0, 0 will be replaced by 1, 0 will be replaced by 1, 0 will be replaced by 1, and 1 will remain as such. So this will be the 2's complement representation of a negative number. So all these three are the three representation. Sometimes the 1 mark question or 2 mark question may come in the exam, like -7, or like if you go through the previous year question papers, I would recommend you to go through the previous year question papers. Those are uploaded on the DU website. You download from there and start solving all the questions corresponding to this chapter. You go chapter by chapter. You go on solving the questions chapter by chapter. So only extract those kind of the questions from the which are relevant to the chapter 3. So in those question paper, you will get such kind of the question, like you are given a number as -7 or -8 or any other number, and you have been asked to represent that number in sign magnitude, or in all these three representation: in sign magnitude representation, sign 1's complement representation, and sign 2's complement representation. So if you do talk about -7, so first of all, you'll have to convert that 7 into binary form, and value, it will be 111. Fine. And afterwards, you have to represent it in the sign magnitude representation. How will you representing? It will be like, again, let me make use of whiteboard to manually solve it. Let me share the whiteboard. Yes, this is a whiteboard. I think I will have to erase all these things. Yes. Now, then you will find such kind of a question somewhere. Say -7. These are the two given numbers. You have to represent these numbers in the sign magnitude in all these three representation, using all these three representation. What are those three representation? One is the sign magnitude representation, another is 1's complement representation, another is 2's complement representation. So first question is in front of you is -7. You need to convert 7 in the binary form. What is that? So 1, 1, 1. So in sign magnitude representation, what will be the value? How you will represent signed magnitude? So signed magnitude representation. So in case of your sign magnitude representation, let me open it again. So how will it be? So sign bit, explicitly the sign bit will be used. As this number is negative number, so the sign bit as 1 will be used, and that will be used as the very first bit of your number. So it will be 1, comma is not essential all the time, and 1, 1, 1. So this is the signed magnitude representation. And the ones complement representation of the same number will be, it is ones complement representation. You need to take the ones complement. So this is the ones complement representation. What is that? You need to take the ones complement of this given number. Again, ones complement ke liye you will be having 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 will be replaced by 0, 1 will be replaced by 0, and this 1 will remain as such. Though, see, and now we take the 2's complement representation. Let's take, sorry. So 2's complement representation, again I am going to adopt the shortcut method in 2's complement. So we begin with from extreme right hand side. This very first as and one, first one is mat, that will be copied as such. And afterwards, each and every bit will be inverted, excluding the sign bit. So 1 will be replaced by 0. This 1 will be replaced by 0, and sign bit will remain as such. So these are the 3 representations. Okay, now if you talk about the plus 8, so how will it be represented using these 3 representation? First is your signed magnitude representation, because here we are going to talk about the positive number. So here the sign bit will be 0 in place of your 1. So we need to, first of all, you need to convert this 8 in terms of binary form. So what is the binary value of 8? It is 100, 1000. And afterwards, you have to make use of the sign bit. 0 will be the sign bit. It will represent your positive number, positive 8. And afterwards, you have to find out its ones complement. I told you that whenever we have to have the ones complement and twos complement mechanism is meant only for the negative numbers. It will not have any impact on the positive value. Those positive value will remain as such. So in case we are going to talk about twos complement, it will remain as such. It will not have any impact. Even if we take the ones complement of a positive number, it will remain as such. Similarly, twos complement also will remain as such. It will not have any impact on the positive number. So you can get the question of a 2 marks in your exams. So such kind of the questions you may be asked to solve. Right? Now I go back to your e-copy of the book. Yes, we had a discussion over the 3 representations of the sign numbers. So this was the 3 representation of the sign numbers. Now I go back, see. Then is the, I would like to discuss the subtraction of unsigned numbers. Or the signed numbers, the subtraction is performed in a similar manner. So how it is to be done? What is the way? Simply, here we discuss only 2 cases. 2 cases are, let me again make use of the whiteboard. What actually we are doing? Here the one question is solved in front of you using the tens complement in the decimal subtraction. See, here we are not talking about that kind of the subtraction of decimal numbers that conventionally we do in the mathematics. Here we are discussing how the system does using the help of the complement, using taking the tens complement. The subtraction generally is performed in system using R's complement, using 2's complement, because the system always deals with the binary values. Internally, even if we are talking about the decimal or any other numbering system, internally the system processes entire data in the binary form. So internally the subtraction is performed using 2's complement. The way the 2's complement is performed in a similar manner, if we talk about this the subtraction using the tens complement, the way is similar. So here we talk about the subtraction using tens complement. In eventually in the back exercise you will get those kind of the numerical based on the subtraction using 2's complement dealing with the binary values. So these two kinds of the numerical questions you will get in the back exercise. So first of all, here in front of you, one example is given. Key two numbers are there. One is your 72532 minus 13250. You have to take do the subtraction of these two numbers using tens complement, provided whenever value of m is greater than n. This will be your first case, and another case when value of m will be less than the negative number. Here essentially we are going to discuss two cases. Two cases is what? Whenever the positive value, the magnitude of the positive number is greater than that of the negative number, and another case we will discuss whenever the magnitude of a negative number is greater than that of a positive number. Whenever so these kind of the two cases we are going to discuss. So let me again erase the entire frame. To erase, let me see. No, it has been erased now. So what I'm discussing the subtraction of two decimal numbers using tens complement, and here we are and the same way the subtraction of binary numbers will also be performed. Here we are discussing the two cases. First case is this is your case 1. Case 1 is, and what we are talking ultimately, we are talking about m minus n. We are talking about m minus n whenever case 1 is value of m is a positive number, n is a negative number, value of m is greater than or equal to n, you may call it as. This is our first case, means magnitude of a positive number is greater than that of a negative number. And then we talk about the case 2. Case 2 is basically when the magnitude of a negative number is greater than that of a positive number. So in that case, we talk such kind of a thing. Whenever, or you can do this like this. Let the negative number be the n, denoted by n. So in second case will be m is less than n. Right? Whenever the magnitude of the positive number is less than your negative number. So these are the two cases. First of all, we discuss with the positive case, and then we discuss with the negative case. Always you have to do remember कि whenever we are going to talk about the negative, the subtraction, always we have to have, first of all, very first step, that you have to have the 2's complement or the 10's complement or the R's complement of a negative number. So in this case, n is a negative number. Always you have to have the R's complement. And second step will be you need to add the complemented value of a negative number into another given value m. So complemented value n will be added to the value of m. These two steps are essential in all kinds of the subtractions. So what you have to do, now I'm explaining the step. First of all, again I'm writing down. Very first step, I explained you what you have to do. You have to have, just take r's complement of negative number. Take is r's complement. R's complement of n. Of a n means a negative number. Here n is a negative number of n, where n is a negative number. I am not writing down, but it is implied that we are talking about taking the complement, r's complement of a negative number only. It is not to be taken of a positive number. And specifically in this chapter, we are talking about the subtraction in two forms. One using the tens complement, and one using the twos complement in case of a binary numbers. So this r in case of a tens complement will be, in case of your decimal number will be tens complement, and in case of your binary number it will be twos complement. So whenever we'll be talking about the subtraction of two binary numbers, so then value of r will be 2. So very first step is you have to have the r's complement of a negative number. Then second step is do add the complemented value, do add the complemented value of negative number. We already have taken the complement. So now we are talking about do add the complemented value of n to another given value, and here in this case m is another given value, so I'm writing down to m. So third step is, now specifically these two steps are common in these two cases. Till this point we have to go for these every time whenever we are going to talk about talking the subtraction of two numbers. Always you have to follow these two steps. Afterwards, whenever case 1, we are talking about case 1, whenever magnitude of positive value is greater than that of negative value, in that case what will happen? In such kind of the cases, always whenever you take r's complement, you do add the complemented value of n to m. Ultimately it will generate an AND carry. AND carry is generated, and you have to discard that AND carry. That is the last step, AND carry. So in which case, whenever, this is specifically case 1, you can write down. In such cases, whenever value of m is greater than n, so in such cases always AND carry will be generated. So AND carry will be generated in such cases. AND carry will be generated, and you have to discard that AND carry generated. Discard this AND carry. We'll take example later on. Discard AND carry, and the remaining value will work as the final result. And the remaining value will work remaining value, though clearly I'm not writing down, but it is understood. This will be done. Remaining value will work as your final result. Remaining value is your final result. Final result. Though using the whiteboard, I'm not being able to write down that much clearly, but remaining value will work as the final result. So again, I'm repeating what you have to do in case whenever positive value is greater than that of the negative value, and you have to find out the subtraction using r's complement. It may be either twos complement, it may be either tens complement, provided we are going to deal with binary numbers or the decimal numbers respectively. What is the very first step? You have to have the r's complement of a negative number, that is n. Then you do have to add the complemented value into the given number, into another number, n means complemented value of n will be added to the value m, and ultimate sorry, then ultimately in such kind of the cases the end carry will be generated. You have to discard the end carry, and ultimately the remaining value will work as the final value, final resultant value. This will be your case 1. And the case 2, now we do talk about case 2. What case 2 says that whenever the positive value is less than the negative value, like in first case, say we would have taken one example, that was your first example, 7 8 6 5. So it would be minus 1 2 8 9. So in such cases, and in case of that 3, the resultant value will work as the final value, and ultimately you have to put a positive sign in front of it. Do remember this thing. The fourth was put a positive sign. Put a positive sign, because resultant number always will be positive, due to the reason as positive number was greater than negative number. Put a positive sign in front of the number. Positive sign in front of a number. And if we do talk about a decimal number, then put a positive sign in front of a number. But if we do talk about the binary numbers, then put a 0 sign bit in front of the number, because in binary always 0 bit works as your positive sign. So in the resultant number, in case you are going to talk about the positive numbers, you put a 0. But see, if you are going to talk about the unsigned numbers, so explicitly sometimes it is not necessary to show the sign bit in that case, in case of your sign bit number. We'll solve the numerical questions and then we'll get to know. Sorry. And now we talk about the second case. This was your first case when positive number was greater than that of the negative number, and ultimately definitely the resultant number will come out as a positive number. The second case is your whenever the value of m is less than that of the n. So that means the resultant number should be the negative. Like we take such example. This case 2 example is, say we take m is less than n. Say I have taken one number 1 9 8 5, and I have taken the value of n as minus, because we are talking about the subtraction. This is minus so this is minus, and this number is say 8 5 6 7. Now we have to perform the subtraction. Now this will correspond to case 2. Now case 2 says this first value is m, second value is n. So it says that value of m is less than n. So that means it corresponds to the case 2. So case 2 says that, and ultimately definitely if you observe, then you will observe that ultimately the result will be negative. So what are the steps? Again, the very first step is take r's complement of a negative number. Yes, here in this case also the r's complement means tens complement, or in case the number is decimal, this is the decimal number, and in case the number is 2's complement, so you will have in case the number is in binary form, then you will have to have the 2's complement of a negative number. So now this is a negative number, so you will have to have the tens complement of this number. Yes, this will be your very first step, and the next step will be do add complement of n to m. Now you have taken the tens complement of n. Now you need to add the complemented value to the value m. M is another given value. So you have taken the complemented value of n, and you need to manually add m in the value of m. And after taking the addition, what you have to do, now the third step will vary. The third step will be different in case of your case 2. Now in the third step, what will be, because resultant number, some of the resultant value has been generated after doing the addition of complemented value of n to the value m. So some number has come out, and that number we know will be again the negative, because always it was observed that the negative magnitude of a negative number was higher than that of the magnitude of a positive number. So result definitely was negative. So that means already it was in the complemented form. It was already in the tens complemented form. And in order to get the original number, what will be the third step? You need to take it the tens complement or the twos complement of the resultant number in order to get the final value of the answer. So what will be the only the third step will vary in case of your case 2. So what will be the third step? Where do I write down? Say I am writing down here due to the lack of the space. So here in this case will be the third step in case 2. What you have to do? You have to take again the tens complement or r's complement or twos complement in case binary value. So r's complement of here no and carry will be generated, as and carry earlier was generated in case 1. It will not be generated in your case 2. Rather, the number already will be in the complemented form, because due to the reason as the number was negative. So in order to get the original value of the number, we have to have the r's complement. Now r's complement, take r's complement of result take r's complement of the result take r's complement of the result and put a negative sign in front of it, and put a negative sign. It's comparatively difficult to write down using the whiteboard. R's complement, take the r's complement of the result and put a negative sign. Negative sign in front of it. So I'm not writing down, but I am verbally speaking. The in front of it to get the final answer. Fine. So I am repeating the steps in case 2. What you have to do. So the case 2 is basically when the magnitude of a negative number is greater than that the magnitude of a positive number. So you have to deal with such a case. What you have to do? You have to have the r's complement of a negative number. Here we are talking about specifically the decimal numbers. Examples. You have to have the tens complement of your negative number. Then you do have the tens complement of negative number to another number m. Ultimately, whichever the number will be generated, that definitely will be a negative number. So that is already in the tens complement form. So in order to get the original number, what you have to have? You have to have the tens complement of the final result and put a negative sign in front of it to get the final answer. So these will be the steps in case 1 as well as the case 2. So I'm taking one example for each case. Fine. And then that will be with the help of which you will better understand. I'm going to the book. I'm opening the e-copy of the book, and you can go through the solved examples. Like the very first case is whenever we have a number in front of us, 72532 is the value of m minus 13250, it is n. So it corresponds to case 1. It corresponds to case 1 means, see, steps are also mentioned in front of you for both the cases. Even in the similar manner, the same explanation is given in front of you in the e-copy of the book also. So what you have to see, this is a case 1, m minus n, where a value of m is greater than m is greater than or equal to n. This is your first case. What you have to have? You have to find out the tens complement of a negative number. Which one is negative number in front of us? Minus 13250. So you 13250 का आपका tens complement, what it will be? It will be 86750. So once you have taken the tens complement, what you have to do? You have to add tens complement of this number to the given value of m. So simply you have to do simple addition. You, after doing the addition, ultimately this sum you will find out, and this extreme leftmost bit, this one, will work as your AND carry, 159282. This, which is this will work extreme left hand side value, one value will work as AND carry. You have to discard this AND carry, and ultimately the remaining value 59282 will work as your final answer. I'm writing the same thing again using my whiteboard to better illustrate the concept. I'm not being able to clear the frame, but one example. Let me try again. Yes, it has been done. Now I'm taking the same example as given in the copy of your book. What value of m is given? 72532. 72532. Her value of m is 72532, and value of n is given as, it is given as 13250. 13250. 13250. And what we have to do? We have to do m, oh sorry, we have to do m minus n. So what we have to perform? We have to perform m minus n. That means 72532 minus 13250. So what you will have to take? You will have to have the tens complement of n. So you will have to have tens complement of n. So once a tens complement is what? Tens complement, you will have to find out by using the same formula as earlier we have studied. Tens complement of n will be, it is coming out as, you can view from here, it is coming out as 86750. Just hold on, just hold on. Yes, 86750. 86750, it is coming out. What are you have to do? 86750 and 0. Fine. So what you have to do? You simply now you do need to add these two values. What? First value of m, 7, 2, 5, 3, 2. Now you need to simply add these two values. Which value? One value of m as such, and second complemented, tens complemented value of n, which is that 86750. Now we'll do simple addition as we do in day to day. After doing the addition, what value we are getting? It will be 2, it will be 8, it will be 2, it will be 9, and it will be 15. The extreme leftmost bit will be called as your AND carry. You have to write down this way. This will be discard AND carry. Discard discard AND carry, and resultant value will work as your final value, and resultant answer will be, the final answer will be your final answer is final answer will be your 59282. 5, 9, 2, 8, and 2. This will be, even manually you can also inspect. If manually you do the subtraction of these two numbers, ultimately you will get the same value. So this was your case 1. And now if you do talk about your case 2, if you go through the e-copy of your book, and if we do talk about the case 2, see, we are coming to the case 2. See, the second case is when magnitude of n is this way. This is your case 2. When magnitude of negative number is greater than that of your magnitude of positive number. So this kind of the example, 13250 minus 72532. So what you have to do? Very first step, wherever you see a negative number, a negative sign, you have to have its tens complement or twos complement in case of your binary numbers. So here we do have the decimal number. So we have to have its tens complement of n. So tens complement of 72532 will be 27468. This is the tens complement. And afterwards, what you have to have? You have to do add the given number m and plus the complemented value of n. After doing the addition, which value you are getting? 40718. Because the negative magnitude is greater than that of your positive magnitude, so that's why the number resulted will always be a negative number, and that's why it would always be in complemented form. Because system, if we are talking here the subtraction from a system point of view, as system always generates the negative, always represents the number in arts complement form. Generally it makes use of twos complement, generally it takes makes use of tens complement. So if a number, this resultant number is in negative form, so that means from the point of view of the system, it is already in tens complemented form. So in order to get the original number, what you need to do, you need to find out the tens complement of 40718, and you have to place a negative sign in front of it. So what is the tens complement of this? This is 59282, and you need to place a minus in front of it. So this number will be negative 59282. So you, instead of writing down negative, rather place a minus sign. So this way you have to deal with the subtraction of two numbers. We have dealt with two cases today. One case is when the m is greater than or equal to n, when m is a positive number and n is a negative number. And second case was when the m is less than the n. But in the subsequent class, in the next class, we'll deal with the cases when both the numbers are having positive signs and both the numbers are negative signs, and those two cases will result in the case of overflow. That means in the next class we'll talk about the overflow case. This one we'll talk about in the next class, not in today's class. Now based on today's concepts, you have to solve the back exercise questions. Now we are coming to the back exercise, and in the next class I will take all the doubts from back exercise as well. So I already had given you the questions to solve from question number 1 to 7. Afterwards, question number 8 also you have to solve. No need to go for this sky series, because it's not easy to memorize the sky series, and generally the question does not come over this sky series. So you can leave the question number 9. From 1 to 8 you have to do, and then afterwards, based on the concepts done today, again you can leave the question 10. You need to do solve the question number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. This case is a case corresponding to the overflow. This we'll discuss in the next class. So till question number 16, and afterwards question number 18 का आपका very first A part, because B part again will yes, B part as well, A and B. Question number 18 as well. नहीं, B part में you will the case B will correspond to the case of overflow. So B part you will not be able to solve, but you can try with that. But A part definitely you have to do. So again I am repeating that, till how many number of questions you have to solve and submit me in the form of the assignment from question 1 to 8. Afterwards, question number 10, question number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, and then question number 18, A part. And based on all these questions, whichever kind of the doubts will be there, I will take in the next class all the doubts. So